All right, bada bing, bada boom. All right, welcome to an episode of Everyday Eady, where we talk about anything and everything. No topic is too much. And this is my beautiful co-host, Rick Eady.
Hi.
Hi. And I'm his beautiful, loving co-host, wife, partner in crime,
yes.
Yang to the yang, Krista Eady. And today we have some questions from you guys, and we're going to fire off a few of those questions just to get to know us better, and hopefully if there's some stuff that pops up that really resonates with you. And a lot of it is relationship based, and I think that's cool. We can learn a lot from each other and what we all go through, so I thought it was really cool that we got some badass questions from you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of what this thing's all about. It's just us chatting.
Chatting, yeah.
Whether it's us just coming in the basement with something that we want to talk to help inspire somebody, or get off our chest against each other, or off our chest in general, or if we can answer questions for some other people and hopefully help somebody out, then I think that is...
That's our goal with this podcast, right? Even if it can help just one person out there, amazing, just by us chatting.
Ultimately, if it can just help us, that's great. And then if we can help one person above that, that's awesome. Anything above and beyond that is absolutely wonderful.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Okay, so this is our first question. How did you guys meet?
We didn't talk about this on here?
I don't know. They could just be quick.
Previous podcast?
Quick answers.
We met. My dad bought property at the lake that Krista's dad developed. They had a cabin at the lake right beside where my dad built his house. I was out there with friends. I looked over, seen blonde girl on the deck, and I said, I'm going to fuck that girl, for lack of better terms. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how I worded it. I was going to word it nicer for the podcast, but
you were a nice young gentleman back then. I was a gentleman back then. That's just the way you talk.
And yeah, I was all about notches on the belt back in those days. And then, out of respect for my wife, I'll say a little bit down the road, I ended up putting that notch in there.
Oh my God.
And then Krista fell in love with me.
The second I laid eyes on him, I was like, I love that bad boy. And my dad was like, oh.
No, not him. No,
not him. Like, yes, that's the one.
And then, I did not fall in love at that point.
I love a bad boy that does good things. That's this man right here.
I was respectful.
You've never heard me talk about you like that.
I was a respectful whore. And then,
oh my God.
And then, like 8 years down the road, we ended up getting back together and making the decision to be together.
Yeah, totally. And then, that perfectly, it leads into the next question. Did you guys want kids, and were they planned?
How did you answer that?
I wasn't really, kids were not really a huge priority on my list. I never was like that fairy tale, like, oh, I can't wait to get married and have a family and children. I never daydreamed about that. That definitely wasn't on my daydream list. Or the wedding and the fancy dress, none of that. But then, I guess when...
I've known I was going to be a dad since I was like 5 years old.
Exactly.
But I grew up thinking, knowing, being perfectly comfortable with being a single dad. Like I kind of thought that was a great possibility I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna have this. When I was younger, anyways, I had split up parents, so I never saw this like perfect picturesque, beautiful wife, happy family with kids. I just knew that I was gonna be a dad. And then as time went on, I kind of manifested the whole thing of like, I've seen families, friends' families that had like acreages, mom and dad, happy together, super involved with their kids. And I was like, oh yeah, like that is what I want.
Yeah.
Full pantry.
And then it was kind of cool how we had that talk and you're like, yeah, I want kids. And then we just...
Yeah, and I wanted to have kids before a certain age. I wanted to be a young dad. That was a big priority for me. And then when we were kind of talking about getting together, I literally said, like, I was like, look, like I want kids sooner than later. I'd actually mentioned it to my ex. Thank God that didn't fucking happen.
Well, she didn't want kids. So.
No, and I did. That was a deal maker breaker. Like honestly, like if you're like I don't know that I want kids, then I would have been like, well, we're probably not gonna fucking work out.
Yeah, and I think that's a good conversation to have too, because yeah, it just worked out that I knew you really wanted it. I just could see that in you. You're so good with other kids too, and your nieces and nephews and stuff. And you surrounded any kids that were around you. Well, you're a giant kid yourself, so.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it was cool. We didn't actually think about it at all. I don't really think about a lot of stuff. I kind of just am one of those people too where
Don't overthink it.
don't overthink it. We just dove right in, and I actually got pregnant quite easily.
Well, that's what we said. We're like, well, why don't we just pull the goalie and see what's gonna happen?
3 months, 4 months, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea. I loved it. Thank God. I had the most beautiful pregnancies. It was like, I loved it. I could eat cheesecake all day, and I ate the cheesecake, and I loved it. And then RJ was born. Postpartum was a little hairy, but
Postpartum was hairy as fuck.
hairy as fuck. But then also, he was a good sleeper, so we're like, this baby's amazing. He was like a month or 2 old, so we tried for another baby.
Yeah.
And got pregnant with Otto.
But then we thought about it, it's like, well, what do we want? We wanted to be younger.
And we wanted them close together.
With our kids, we want them close together. We don't know what this world's gonna have.
Yeah.
What they're gonna be up against. Like if they can watch each other's backs. Like we wanted that first boy. We got that first boy, and then after that, I think we didn't. It was boy, girl, didn't really matter. And then
I knew we were having 2 boys.
Yeah.
I'm having a whole football team.
We just wanted them to be close so that they could kind of look after each other.
Yeah.
Basically, and have each other's backs.
Then we had Otto Dotto, which was another amazing baby, another amazing pregnancy. Hairy postpartum.
Yeah.
Hairy as fuck. But then...
But even like that first postpartum one, that's one thing. Like I wish I could talk to like every. I would honestly talk to every like blue collar dad who's about to have a kid and be like, look, fucko, like the work has just begun, and it's not your job to be necessarily like everybody's like, oh, the dad needs the help. The dad needs the help. Yes, the dad needs the help. The dad's got to basically take care of mom and whatever works. And mom has to realize before she has a kid too. That's like, do you want to have a fucking husband who's involved with their kids? Then you're gonna have to back the fuck off a little bit too and let them be involved. Just because they're not doing something exactly the way that you would do it. It's like when I'm cooking and then you kind of step in. I'm cooking. Get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? Like
100%.
and it's the same with the kids. It's like when we had the boys, we didn't both do the same thing the same ways, and that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it works, who gives a shit?
I think it was badass because then we got the baby Breeza. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's basically a coffee maker, a Keurig for milk, baby milk. So you press the button and the milk would come out, which was awesome because then you were feeding the boys all the time too.
Yeah, I could wake up in the middle of the night and feed them or whenever, and then that was good for me for bonding.
Yeah.
And then same as I seen that thing the other day. I think I sent it to you or whatever, and it was about like how they were suggesting how men do like skin to skin contact, which I do with the kids, right? And
that's why RJ still sleeps on your chest.
The baby comes out of your womb and it knows you.
Right.
It's heard your heartbeat since it was
beginning
its
of
heartbeat.
time.
Right?
Yeah.
Like so, and to connect like that as a dad, I think that or you, whoever,
it's
whatever
amazing.
the fuck they want, but it made a big difference for me, I think.
100%, and the kids, like your bond with them, you changed the diapers for the first 2 weeks till you had to go back to work. Like you bonded with the kids a ton because like you said, like the mom does naturally just have that bond with the kid when they're born, and there's so much that I think the mom can only do at first, but but it's so cool. Like if there's things that you can hand off that you did, like you did an amazing job with that. Help.
But but you're in it together. But then at the same, there's a lot of men. It's not like the majority of men want to be involved in that and they want to do that.
But Mama Bird sometimes puts up
right,
her...
especially with postpartum with hormones and shit, and they're like a fucking vampire.
Oh my God.
Right? It's like, well, lady, look, you gotta fucking chill too. Like that's his baby too. Like you guys are in this together.
100%.
And then the man has to not get mad at her for that. He has to also realize that she's a hormonal bag of mixed emotions.
Wild ride,
but then
man.
It's like, if you're doing the breastfeeding thing, it's like, here, breastfeed the baby so he's full, or she's full, and then as soon as that's done, take the fucking baby away. and go do your own thing for a while until you know.
But isn't it so true? Like how many times, whether it's me or a friend, and they'd leave the baby with dad, and then they'd go do something, and they'd be gone for 45 minutes, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so like, I should probably get back." It's like the dad is fine.
Yeah, he's actually better without you there.
Right, and I'm like, sometimes you just don't give ourselves
sort it out.
that grace, and yeah, let him sort it out. If
And
he's
if
not
he doesn't know what he's doing, guess how he's gonna fucking learn.
right.
Like,
Right.
let the dad be a dad and involved.
You're right. So we did a lot of that. A lot of the, what is that even? That's not co-parent, is that?
It's just parenting, I think.
Yeah, just
It's just
parenting. There isn't a word for it. Yeah.
Co-parenting? Well, no.
No,
Co-parenting
it's just
is when you're split up.
parenting.
It's just parenting.
Yeah.
Just let the fucking dad
We're
be
a
involved.
team.
Dad, be involved. Support the hormonal bag of emotions. And mom, realize that you're going to be a hormonal bag of emotions.
That's hard to see when you're in it, man.
Oh, I know, but if you're proactive and you know that it's coming, it might be helpful. Like I think if
Had no idea what was going on
No, you didn't.
at all.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Thank God.
I kind of beat around the bush trying to let you know. But there was like one point in time where I was like, look, lady, like, I'm leaving.
Right? That was actually leading up to another
But that was
question.
because I just didn't want to live where we were living.
Have we ever got to the point where our relationship was not going to work? And yeah, there's times where it gets so...
We talked about this on a one podcast where you said we might as well break up a couple times. Like I think it was this, you said it once, and then you said, "Well, what are we doing then? We might as well just split up." And I was like, "Don't fucking joke with that, because that's just not." To me, if those words come out of my mouth, I'm already done.
Yeah.
Well, no, we're committed to each other. We're married.
Yeah.
Like we're married. Like we're in this.
In it to win
I'll
it,
do
baby.
whatever it takes to get through the shit.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you have to hold up your end of the bargain, and I have to hold up mine. I'm not gonna be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna be driven. I'm gonna be supportive.
You're gonna be sexy
right?
with me. Look
I'm
at
gonna
you
try.
working out.
Yeah.
Sexy.
But you.
And look at him,
right?
you're out in like your long hair. I'm just like, who is this? I love
No,
this Rick version of Jason Momoa craving Jesus.
But if I turn into some fucking fat, lazy, undriven piece of
Yeah.
shit who is just depressing, I would expect you to fucking leave me.
No, not leave you, but be like, honey, like,
Well, yeah, you would try.
this is what
obviously.
we said the other day. We're in a 3-legged race. Our middle legs here are tied together.
Yeah.
If you're down, it's my job also to help pick you up and like help you get back to where you are. Same with me. If I'm freaking down and you're dragging me, like I'm dragging you down too.
Relationships ain't 50-50.
No. Ever.
It
So
goes
it's like
80-20, 60-40, and it goes back and forth, and you support each other that way. You give, you take.
right, for those 2-3 years, yeah, our legs were strapped together and you were dragging me around trying to help me back up, but I'm like sometimes it's hard, but
Pregnant ass.
right? It's yeah, but then eventually you get back up and we're strong
There was a
together.
hormonal imbalance, and then we got through that together, and you got that figured out, and look at us go now.
Yeah, I know. We're back like upstanding, back in the 3-legged race together, both upwards. So
Six years of hell. That's it.
so far so good, right? So far so good, right?
That's it. It's you commit. Like when any past relationship before that, it's like we're together. When me and you decided that we were getting together, and it's like, okay, we're doing this. I was like, okay, it was just different. I was like,
It was different.
right? It was just like, okay, boxes is checked. We're doing it. We're doing it. And I don't know how that worked out or whatever, but just like in that mental thing, it was just like, all right, let's fucking do
I've
it.
never been so committed to something in my life. Like I was like laser focused on you and I.
Those first couple of years through all those emotions, there was times where I went through my brain too, like, what the fuck am I doing? Is this what I want?
Yeah.
Do I want to be with this slightly crazy lady for the rest of my life? Like, there's times where that shit went through
Right?
my brain, right? And yeah, did I question it? Yeah. Did I think maybe there was somebody else out there?
Yeah.
And then did I wake up the next day and then fucking do it all over again? Yeah. And then did we get through that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like even just saying that, it makes you kind of like sick and sad to say, but it's true.
It's
right?
true,
your
100%.
Brain just went there through periods, through times, through shit that we went through, but it's like, well, fuck, yeah, but we're stronger for that now. I know where I want to be. Right?
But that's just it. When we met, we jumped into a lot of stuff too. We jumped into kids right away. We built a house. We got married all in like
we knew each other for a long time.
yeah, which helps. For sure.
But we didn't
But we
know
didn't-
each other. We didn't know each other deep.
No, we just do surface level stuff from hanging out and partying together, not like the deep shit.
We had lots of fun partying.
Yeah,
and then
we
we
had a
just
lot of
decided we were going to be together. But I think you saw me, and you saw.
I seen your vulnerable side, your beautiful, loving, soft side, and you guys, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I said I just became laser focused on, like, for me, I just knew you were the one, and I still feel that in my heart.
So I think me, lots of it. And like in my brain, the way that I think too, as you're an independent, you don't need me, right? Now we need each other a lot more than we do because we've built our lives around each other. And
We've structured it.
But you didn't need to be with me. You were goal driven. You were doing your own things. Beautiful girl. Like you had all your own things going for you. And then that to me, like not having a leech was a big thing. Right?
Yeah.
Having you do it so that you're doing your own thing and you were supportive of me. Like when we first started dating, you were supportive. You were like, you should take that promotion that you didn't take when you were with your ex to try and, you're like, you should go and do that. I'm like, I'm going to make less money. You're like, so is it better for you for your future? I'm like, yeah. You're like, well then go and do it.
Yeah.
Like, and then to have that support system in you, I was like, wow. Like, I never
I've been
had that.
supportive
That
with
was cool.
everything you do, unless it's like quite possibly like buying a new truck or boat or car or snowmobile. Then I'm like,
And then sometimes I do it anyways, and sometimes I don't.
yeah.
No, but like having that support system, and then I looked at it like when we were doing that too, and I wanted to have kids and stuff like that too, and I also look, if this doesn't work out, is she mentally stable enough and supportive enough on her side to be a single mom of my kids, right? Now saying, would that have, if you weren't, would that have probably changed something? Probably.
Yeah.
Because I would have had to take that into consideration when I was making my decision. Like, yeah, because like I looked at it like our relationship is that's the rest of your life. It's a transaction. So are you going to be with somebody who's going to work hard and be supportive of you and like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, I wasn't looking for somebody that's like, I come home and the supper's ready and the table was made, supportive that way. I was looking for somebody who's like, let's go. Like, we're going this direction. Let's go this direction together, and however that works out. And I think we do a pretty good job.
We do a really good job of that. Like even just yesterday, like actually a lot lately, we've been just like, we're really trying to crush some serious stuff right now. And sometimes it's like, you see so many things in me that I can't even see. And like, likewise, I look at you and be like, come on now. Like I just like, I see you doing even bigger than what you're envisioning, and it's like I'm pushing you beyond what you even sometimes believe in yourself, and I think that's a cool thing in the relationship.
That's a good point. And then like it's you too when you're doubting yourself on stuff. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That's easy. You got that.
You're like, take a step back.
Yeah, that's
like,
an easy problem. Let's nail that one right off, and then like let's worry about the bigger problems.
Right.
Like that's an easy one. You got this. But I think being supportive in that way is pretty good. But then that's also come with us learning to communicate a lot better.
That's I would say is a huge thing. We were not very good communicators even last year, and that's been something we've been working on.
Better and better.
Better and better. Communication is key to like in cutting out that guessing game between each other.
But then saying that, we also had like our no-go zones too, and we fucking we communicated. We just didn't. We're getting more and more better at it. That's all. Whether that means letting the walls down, I think the walls have been down, but it's just opening up and learning more about ourselves.
100%.
I think both of us have learned a shit ton more about ourselves.
100%.
So that makes it easier to.
That's a kick-ass journey to take too. It's scary, but it's so rewarding. And I think that's the key to like what makes our relationship so strong is the more you learn about yourself too, you're also offering those new pieces and parts of yourself that you learn to your partner. And it's like, I felt like I've opened up a lot more too. And me opening up, I open up more to you too. And I think it's been quite a blessing to just like fully unfold and be like this crazy quirky person more around you and show my emotions more. It's been a wonderful.
It's funny because when you find out who you are more, then you can be yourself more.
Yeah.
You actually know what that is. You're not just bouncing off of what the norm is or what you think the norm should be. You can actually just be yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
We both just had like an epiphany. We're like, whoa, yeah, man, that's
deep, bro.
Deep, bro. That's hilarious. Well, that literally answered the last question there. What makes a relationship so strong? And I think that's what it was too. We just talked about a lot about that in communication, and what our goals and values and priorities are very much aligned. Some things might differ a little bit, but I think that's why we click so well. A lot of things are really.
Same time, we also, when we're doing, sorry for cutting you off, but like, but where they are different, we're still supportive in it. Where it's different, it's like, okay, that's what you want to do. You're sure? And then they take a step back, look at that. You're sure that's what you want to do?
Totally.
Okay.
I
right?
was having kind of like a weird night, like maybe just tired and wanted to go to sleep, and you had mentioned something that you wanted to do as a big goal, and I'm like, really? Like, why would you want it? I'm like, that's kind of actually stupid.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I can't believe that I even said those words like that. And after I thought about it, I'm like, if you spoke to me like that and said something that I wanted to do, it would have crushed me. So then it was like, sometimes you really got to think of like how you're, like the things that you say, and like, especially if it's something that meant to you, you like opened up in a vulnerable state to like share that with me, and I kind of like just crushed your whole dream right there. Because I thought it was silly, but then actually when I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, that would be badass. What kind of person would have come from that?
See, that's when you're doing that stuff, I've never been instantly that's stupid. I'll ask you questions about it, because if you can sell it to me and I can bounce it off this way,
and still sell it to you,
and you're still selling it to me, then I'm like, all right, she's got this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then you're actually figuring it out more. And there's been times where I'm asking that stuff, and you're like, yeah, no, maybe you're right.
You're right.
Maybe that's not wrong. And not that it's making me right and you wrong, but it's me getting you to look at it from a different perspective. And if you can look at it from all these different perspectives and you still want to do it, amen,
Great.
sister, let's give her tits.
Yeah.
Right? But then if it's like, if you're looking at it from a completely different perspective, you're like, oh, that was a bad idea. Perfect.
Yeah.
At least we saved ourselves the pain of going through that shit. I got a couple too, so maybe I'll just bang these off to you. So it's like the question, like, what's your top priorities and what do you try to prioritize? And I think we should answer that as a couple.
Okay.
Per se. Like not you on a personal level, which is obviously it takes two to tango, but as a couple. So what would you say, like, between exercise, general health, having the downtime, having the adventures, the family focused time, and working on individual business goals, say?
Right, like easy for us, family is number one. Well, actually, taking care of ourselves is number one.
That's become number one.
That's become number one
thing for us.
For us, and then branches from that, because we're taking good care of ourselves, and then we have all of this extra stuff to give to each other and our kids.
And then it turns into, I would say, immediate family. Like,
immediate family.
Like, we really focus on our relationship.
Yeah.
And doing the date nights, even though like we've been off that
date
right
nights,
now.
sexy time.
Yeah, so
I've been really trying to get more like actually physical and hugging and kissing, because it's just not my love language. Like,
it really used to be mine, but after 5 years of being with you and that not being your love language, now it's weird for me.
Yeah, now I'll kiss you and you're like, are you okay? Are you drunk again? No, just kidding.
We only kiss in the dark when we're drunk and drinking, nobody around. No, but I
want to do more of that, because it feels so good just to be like affectionate and like you said, just showing the love, like by hugs and kisses and touch. And the kids think it's so funny. They're at this cute age where it's like, ew, that's gross, you're kissing. They're like, or RJ loves it. He's like, kiss mommy. And then he's like, they love each other. He just gets a kick out of it. And I want our kids to see us like being affectionate like that. Okay, so us, family. I would say after family, I think fitness and like keeping good care of ourselves would maybe come under that, because I love seeing the boys say like, no, we need to eat our vegetables to be healthy, and we need to drink water. I need to be hydrated. Oh, look, mommy, my pee is clear. And like,
but I think we're selling this wrong. You're tiering it like a list of 1, 2, 3, and 4. But they're all involved in our every single day.
Absolutely.
Like if you look at it like core 4,
yeah,
right? Like power, purpose, passion, and production. So like power, health, fitness, taking care of ourselves, eating good food with the kids, doing our workouts. Like those are priorities, and we work on those every single day.
Yes.
You do it in your way, I do it in my way. I log in my journal. You just know that you have to get your workout in your day. I have to set goals for myself, break it
I
down.
have to meditate.
I have to start going heavier, lighter in weights, switching this up, kind of run through a program.
I have to get outside in nature every single day, or I feel like I lose my
and
marbles.
it works for you. And then so there's power. Then there's passion. Then our relationship. So we work on that daily.
Yes.
Sync notes.
Yep.
Little things, little
You
notes
give
for
me
each
a
other.
kiss every
Text
morning.
messages,
Text message every
kiss before I
morning.
leave in the morning. The kids, we make sure that we have one-on-one time kids before bed, like every night.
I get one-on-one
Sometimes
with
it's
them in
only
the
one of us,
morning.
some of us, sometimes it's both of us. So that's something that we work on every single day.
Yeah.
Like purpose. So self, wealth, meditate. You meditate. I do meditating in the morning. I do my journal thing. I have my vibe in the morning. That's my me time that I do for me, for my, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it gets your mojo in the right place.
My mental spirit or whatever. Like I work on that regularly. You
love
work on
it.
that regularly. And then production. So like say business or work related every day.
Yeah.
Right? We're always working on something every single day. Now, is there the times where I have to tell you slow the fuck down because all you're focusing is on work?
Yeah.
And, right? And
I could easily be a workaholic and work 24/7.
right, because you're just in it, and that's cool. Do I have to be like sometimes, hey, bud, sitting on the couch all day just watching movies with the kids, like maybe you should get up and fucking do something? Sometimes I have to do that for myself too.
Yeah.
But it's a balance, and I think we communicate that back and forth pretty well.
100%. Gussie's staring at the
Right?
He's freaking out. But yeah, I think that's really cool how we work on those things. Every day they are a constant in our life.
Yep.
Boom, baby. Yeah.
That was quick, but we're running out of time, and I don't want it to shut off again.
There we go. We nailed all those questions.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka. See?
Amen. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions,
we love questions.
feel free to reach out. We're just working on this. If this is your first time tuning in, we're getting better and better at making sure our mics are set right, making sure that we have batteries and stuff, making sure that SIM cards don't run out like the last one, making sure that we have a structured podcast per se that rolls
conversational
smoothly.
topic.
Yeah, not just jibber jabber, Rick rants. We're just working on this because it's something that scared us, that we thought that we should do, that could help people.
And it's made us step outside of our comfort zone. And like it like this is how it goes. Change is scary at first, a little bit messy in the middle, and like near the end, we're not near the end, but the more we figure it out,
better and better.
it feels beautiful. So like I think that's just it. Change and doing anything is scary, and stepping out of your comfort zone.
If you want to become good at something, one must first be prepared to suck at it.
Yep. And our first, have sucked.
Our first one sucked. Peace.
Peace and love, my friends.